Let's talk a little bit about spiritual momentum. Okay. I don't know if this is a real term, but it makes sense for what I'm going to try to explain. So, one of the things I was thinking about was like, you have to go back to the basics, right? A lot of people like let's just think basketball. A lot of people want to be fancy. They want the highlights. They want to do all this crazy stuff and look cool doing it. But sometimes people want to look cool doing it that they end up just messing up if they just did it like a simple layup or simple dunk. They wanted to do something crazy, something for the highlight reel, and then they messed up. So sometimes it's very important to just get to the fundamentals. One of my favorite basketball players was Tim Duncan. He was known as Mr. Fundamental. That's literally how I played. I played fundamental. I wasn't flashy. I got the job done, right? So sometimes it's very important to go back to the basics. And I was thinking energy, frequency, and vibration, right? And I was thinking about how people that first learn about manifestation, they get frustrated or they instantly say, this doesn't work, because they saw a video that said you can instantly manifest things. They saw it in their mind. They followed the thing that the guy on the screen said, and it didn't work, right? But then you have to understand there's a few more rules at play than just think about it and it's going to happen. Now, yes, you can understand this energy, frequency, and vibration at a very simple, basic level, and you can get everything that you want. But when you start to try this out more and more and things aren't working, you're like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Like, there's something, this person did it. They just showed me their mansion that they manifested. So if they are giving all the proper advice, this should be working for me. There's levels to this. So what you have been doing for, let's just say, for like the past 5 years, you've been living in a state of lack. You've been sleeping on an air mattress. You can't take a vacation because you can't afford it. You want to be rich, but you give every reason why you can't be rich. I have to work so much. I don't have time to have a second job, or I don't have time to make music anymore like I want to because I'm always doing my job. I can't be rich because the 1% is hogging all the money. So that's why I'm not rich. Once again, giving attention to something else other than yourself, right? So what you've been doing is you've been going the wrong way on the highway this entire time. You've been you want to drive to what's a northern state, Maine, but you've been driving towards Florida this entire time. You've been going in the wrong way. You're trying to manifest prosperity and abundance, but for the past 5 years you've been driving backwards. You've been going towards like poverty and lack. That's what you've been driving towards this entire time. Now, if you were on that road trip, what would you have to do? Eventually, you would have to get off the interstate, go onto some type of off ramp, go into like the little connector thing, and then start heading northbound, right? That's the same thing when it comes to manifestation. You have to get off of that bandwagon of thinking all these negative, impoverished thoughts, and then you have to started going in the right direction when you start to reprogram your mind to only push out positivity, to only push out abundance and prosperity, right? Think about it another way. A train, that's why they say it takes a mile or 1 to 5 miles or something like that, like for a train to stop. Because it's been moving, it's a heavy thing moving at a very high speed. Therefore, it has to slow down first before it can go in the other direction on the track. What y'all have been doing for the past 5 years is you've been consistently giving it the fuel to go at 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction. And now you have to stop that train. And just as it takes a mile or two, it doesn't stop on a dime. It has to come to a stop gradually over time. Then it starts to go in the opposite direction. That's what y'all need to do when it comes to this manifestation. Some of y'all have been given so much credence, so much power to lack, and you've been given so much power to other people that you're waiting for the president to give you the right move in your life. Well, we need you to fix this. What do you mean? It starts with you. We are many. He is one. So why don't we get our shit together? And now, yes, I'm going to say that. Why don't we get our shit together and start to go in the right direction? If we all start giving more power to ourselves and more power to our prosperity, that's what's going to start to happen in our lives. And we're not even going to worry about some presidential head, because we're like, wait a minute, I was able to do this on my own. Wait, why was I giving so much power to this random person that doesn't even know who I am? Hold on, And like the things like people are always going the wrong direction when it comes to things like love, for example. No one's ever gonna love me. I'm fat. I'm too skinny. I'm not big enough, bro. You know, I don't get enough money. No girl's gonna like me. I don't have this. Yeah, they're not gonna like you because that's what you're saying about yourself. If you're saying that about yourself, why are you expecting someone else to give you that type of positive attention? You see what I'm saying? That's why it's very important. Like I say, you need to love yourself before you love somebody else. Because if you're looking for somebody to complete you, they'll never complete you in the way that you're looking for. And you always feel like something's missing. Yeah, that part is missing is you. You have to fill that gap. You have to give yourself the right idea here. You need to start feeding yourself the right things to your mind. You know, what you put in your subconscious mind, especially what you put in your subconscious mind is what dictates your life. That's where all those records are running. That's why people say affirmations. You know, when you hear something so much, when your mom or your daddy says something to you so many times as a kid that you almost repeat it to yourself as an adult, that's your subconscious mind. Your parents programmed your subconscious mind. If you like what they programmed in you and it's been helping you and serving you in your life, then keep on going with it. Keep on feeding it. Expound on that. But if they've been saying like, oh, you'll never be this and that, you can't do that, just go be a lawyer or a doctor, you can't do that, then change it. Because that's what they told you. They were projecting their limiting beliefs on you, and you accepted them. That's why a lot of people, they bow down to the haters and be like, oh, I can't do this. You see, they said blah, blah, blah. No, sometimes haters are just haters projecting on you. It's up to you to fix your own life and feed yourself the right types of energies. You know, that's all you got to do in this world. But at first, you can't expect that change overnight. You have to stop your momentum in a certain type of way. You have to stop the momentum. Even if you're big into manifestation, you've been like, dang, this is taking forever. You have to understand that you've been thinking about not having this for so long. Or you've been thinking about or you've been knowing that you haven't had something for so long that now you have to wait for that seed to grow. You know, I've been talking to my parents and my grandma and say, hey, you just gotta be patient. You just gotta be patient. I'm like, I know it's gonna happen. I know this seed that I planted a while ago is going to sprout soon. But I'm just like waiting for it to happen. And it's like, you know, it's that waiting phase. That's like the next phase when you actually know how to manifest stuff and then you have to wait for things. You know, that's what's going on here. You have to wait. You know, you're going from nothing to something. You know that you could create anything from your mind. So what's a little bit of time? You know, you got to remember that. You can create things from your mind at this point. When you learn how to master manifestation, you be like, oh, I want that. Let me start to see me in it. Let me start to see me having my dream car. Let me see me having my dream house, my dream business, whatever. And you start to live there every single night. And then you're going to start to wake up and you're going to start to really feel like you're already that person. You know, that's what's going on here. You have to become it first. You know, you have to see it in your mind, become it, and then your word will reflect it. A lot of people say, I want to be a billionaire, or actually, no, let's use that. I want to be a billionaire. Well, in 10 years, you actually got your manifestation already because you want to be it. Then 10 years later, you want to be a billionaire. Then 10 years later, you want to be a billionaire. I am a billionaire. That's why it says in the Bible, I am that I am. You know, that's why Eminem almost got it right. I am whatever you say I am. No, I am whatever I say I am. You understand? So if I am rich, which one's more powerful? I want to be rich or I am rich? You understand? And you have to start to put that into your mind and repeat that over and over until that becomes your new second nature. So you start walking around and you start to see your whole world differently. You know, personal experience. You know, I sit in my apartment now, I'm like, dang, it's too small for me now. Because in my mind, I live in a bigger spot, you know, in the place that I want to be. And that's why I've been feeding this information. I've been feeding myself this. So whenever I go back home, I'm like, you know, I'm still appreciative and grateful for what I have. Of course, those not getting messed up. But I know what's coming. Therefore, the place I live in my mind is so expansive and breathable. I'm like, I come back home, I'm like, damn, like I'm still here, huh? All right. But I know what's coming. My seed is eventually going to sprout and give me fruit, you know? So this is the mindset that you need to have. You know, feed yourself the right things, tell yourself the right things, understand that you have to cancel out that negative momentum that you were having for the past few years before you start to learn about manifestation. Then once you start to get the ball rolling in the right direction, that's when you start to see the signs. That's when you start to hear people talking about what you want. That's when you start to see the car driving around the street and all of a sudden, that's when you inevitably get to the point where you hold it in your hands. When someone's like giving you a deal on a car, when you find the perfect house for yourself at a marked down price or the exact price that you were trying to buy it at. You know, like one of the things, quick success story, like this apartment, you know, my first apartment was like 800 no. My first apartment was like 600 something square feet, something like that. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me upgrade. So when I moved here, I was like, you know what? I want 2 bedrooms now. I want a little bit more square footage, like 800's okay. And then it needs to be in this price range. So I was like, okay, bet. And I started seeing that all the time. I imagine myself having conversations with like a realtor, even though I didn't really need one, but still, like, do it how you do it. And like, I imagine myself having this conversation over and I said, well, listen, like, I imagine me like in their office, like, hey, I want 2 bedrooms, I want this, I want that, and this and that. And eventually, like, like when I was on just went on apartments.com, I found what I wanted. It was exactly what I was looking for. And it's like in the perfect price. It was like one of the only ones that fit that criteria in that price range. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And this is before I knew about the manifestation stuff. So that's where I'm at now. But now I'm doing the same exact process to get an even bigger place, the place that I want to be in, my dream place. So that's what I'm seeing now. And it's at the point where I've embodied this so much in my mind. Like I said, my apartment now feels small and I'm ready to go. And that's what's causing my impatience. But it's also me, I see it as me actually having faith in my process. I need to calm down a little bit and just say it'll happen when it happens. But on the same tip, me being impatient, that means I know that this is about to happen. I know that this is going to happen one way or another. And that's what, shows the true faith in this practice. So I hope this filled in some gaps for you. I hope this made y'all think about something. If you have any questions about manifestations or any success stories, feel free to share them. Till the next one.